Hey guys, what's going on? James here, and we have another very interesting top 30 visit for the Bucs. As Alabama cornerback, I should say, Kool-Aid McKinstry visited the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. This is per Jordan Schultz of Bleacher Report. So, this is another one that a lot of Bucs fans have been very interested, very excited about in Kool-Aid McKinstry. The Bucs do have a bit of a need at cornerback after they traded Carlton Davis to the Detroit Lions. So could there be a potential match with Kool-Aid McKinstry and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers? We will have to wait and see. But taking a look at Kool-Aid McKinstry here as a prospect, first we're going to go to NFL.com. He's a guy who's done some interesting things. 5'11 and a half inches, 199 pounds, coming in out of Birmingham, Alabama. He has been Alabama his entire life. Gets an NFL comparison to AJ Terrell from Lance Zierlein. Is just a very interesting prospect overall. Is a guy that you look to have as just an all-around do-it-all corner. He can tackle, he can cover in man, he can cover in zone, he's got the athleticism, everything that you want in a top-tier cornerback. Kool-Aid McKinstry is that guy. And I've said this before about multiple organizations, let's say, but coming out of a place like Alabama in that Nick Saban system, folks, there isn't going to be many colleges, just as a whole, that are going to prepare you to play in the NFL like Alabama is going to. That's just the way it is. So it makes sense as to why the Buccaneers would be interested. You take a look here at the big board as well, per Pro Football Focus. He's number 23. And the Buccaneers are going to be selecting at, I believe it's 27. So he will be in that range. Now, I have seen some mock drafts have the Bucs selecting McKinstry here with that 27th overall pick. I have seen some mock drafts that have him go before the Buccaneers selection. I've even seen some mock drafts not have the Bucs select Kool-Aid McKinstry and have it go to a team that is picking later in the first round. In my opinion, it would not be surprising if the Bucs did take Kool-Aid McKinstry. And I know what people are going to say. Jackson Powers-Johnson, Graham Barton, interior offensive line, what are we doing? The world's ending, everything's on fire, right? But I do think that cornerback can be considered a first-round target for the Bucs. I don't think that is a crazy thing to say. Look, Jamel Dean is your cornerback 1 right now. Zion McCollum is your cornerback 2, and you assumedly have brought in Tavier Thomas to compete with Christian Izien for your nickel cornerback spot. It's a lot of pressure to be putting on a guy like Zion McCollum, who is entering year 3 and has had some moments starting the past couple of years, but ultimately is still a former 5th-round draft pick and does, have a lot of pressure on him to be thrust into a starting role instead of, let's say, eased into it. It might be a trial by fire situation. You also do have to consider the overall health of Jamel Dean, right? He has played in more games recently than Carlton Davis, who, as I said, the Bucs traded away to the Detroit Lions. We'll get to that in a moment. But Dean hasn't played a full season in a good bit of time. I don't know if possibly ever in his entire career. So you do want some more insurance at that cornerback spot, because if Jamel Dean goes down with injury, having Zion McCollum as your cornerback 1, having possibly Tavier Thomas as your cornerback 2, and then having Christian Izien as your nickel corner, that's a lot of pressure on a somewhat inexperienced secondary besides Tavier Thomas, on a guy like Zion McCollum. Hey, you're now our number 1 corner, and a guy in the form of Christian Izien possibly playing the slot cornerback as well. It would make sense. It would. It would, in my opinion. Now, you can argue that the Bucs may want to just spend a 2nd-round pick or possibly one of their 2 3rd-round picks on a cornerback as well. Again, that is a possibility, but this is a possibility as well. You did trade away Carlton Davis, who was a solid starting cornerback in this league. That is not always an easy thing to find. The Bucs could have a chance to find and draft one if, let's say, a Jackson Powers-Johnson or a Graham Barton is not there. Then it really wouldn't surprise me if they were to go with a Kool-Aid McKinstry, get another starting cornerback opposite of Jamel Dean. And as far as I can tell, injuries aren't a concern necessarily with Kool-Aid McKinstry here. It seems like he's a guy that has been able to stay healthy throughout his collegiate career. That's valuable, especially to the Bucs, given their situation of cornerback injuries in the past. The best ability is availability. So it really wouldn't surprise me if the Bucs do not only view Kool-Aid McKinstry as a starting caliber cornerback, much like what a lot of teams do in the NFL, but are interested in him with their first round selection also. What do you guys think? Let me know your thoughts and opinions about this down in the comments section below. I would love to hear it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope y'all enjoyed. As always, guys, I'll see you all in the next video or the next live stream. But until then, and as always, guys, goodbye for now, and go Bucs.